But jumping back to identifying high-quality analysis questions, there are some hard criteria that people can use, and I think that I want to hear if you agree with these.
All right.
So number one is, and I think you agree because you've already agreed in a sense, the solution for the problem requires multiple steps.
Yeah.
It can't just be take this and divide by that.
Yeah.
So there are multiple steps that require some communication clarity to convey to your interviewer.
Yeah.
That's a good way of knowing. Like, if you can explain it too quickly to your cat, then it's not complex enough.
Yeah. And when you say complex, a lot of people think it's like, oh, it's pi times e. It's not that. It's like a lot of variables. They're in different levels in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
You need to work with them to get to your inputs. That's the kind of complexity.
Yeah, perfect. And another criteria, and I've mentioned this one already, the challenges change between, like, all of the analysis have a challenge, at least one, that you look at the challenge and you can say, I can see many people making this mistake.
Yeah.
I know that this part is hard, you know? And it has at least one of them, and the challenge changes between different cases.
Yeah.
So from this one, it's knowing that, you know, occupancy rates shouldn't be above 100%. I don't know, whatever. There are different challenges between the cases.
Yeah, to give a parameter, I guess most, like the average analysis in a case, in a real case with a consulting firm, I'd say half of the people are gonna reach the wrong result.
Yeah.
Or they're gonna get stuck. So only half of the people will get it right. And of those, half will be fairly smooth.
Yeah.
And the other half will stumble in the way. And
yeah, it'll be rocky.
Yeah. So if that helps people assessing the difficulty of an analysis, like that's the benchmark, I'd say.
And there's a third criteria that you brought up that I think should be in here, and that is there are hidden variables. There are tricks. There are things that were not obvious and were not mentioned, but do affect the number that you're getting to.
Yeah, you have a great video on the course, which is like the 8 or 9 factors that interviewers use to make a simple analysis difficult. And one of them is hidden variables. The other one is giving you indirect data. So instead of giving you like exactly what you need, they give you a number that's like 3 steps away. And there are others. So these kinds of tricky things.
Yeah.
And you can see them as you solve an analysis.
Yeah, just an example, because I think that hidden variables might be a little bit vague. An example is, let's say you're trying to calculate the profits or the profitability or the ROI of a fresh produce retailer. And the interviewer gives you a ton of numbers, but they don't mention losses.
Yeah.
When you're talking
like
about fresh...
spoilage.
Yeah, spoilage. When you're talking about fresh produce, there is going to be spoilage. Some stuff is going to be unsellable because it's just going to look bad and be bad. So if they don't mention that, it should be in the problem. So it is a hidden variable. That's the kind of thing we're talking about.
And the thing about these hidden variables is it's obvious when you look at the problem, but most people are so deep into the math that they forget they're talking about fruit and vegetables. I had one of these in one of my interviews, which is, it was like to calculate the printing costs of a commercial bank. Like the central office, not the retail agencies. And they like the data I got was like the obvious one, like maintenance, ink, stuff like that. But there was a hidden variable, which is the office area that the printer would occupy.
Right, so rent.
Rent, exactly.
Yeah.
And these printers are big. Like if you've ever been to a corporate office, they're big. And if you get like a huge bank, like a whole financial building, and you sum like the area of all the printers, you may get like 1 or 2 floors. Yeah. Which is super expensive. And this is another example of a hidden variable.
That's a good point. So do you agree with those criteria?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that sounds right.
All right. So I think that we've already talked about fairly enough about our course, but
it's time to sell the course.
It is time to sell the course.
Okay, so if you're having trouble with analytics, let me look them in the eye again. Just kidding. No, yeah, I think who do you think the course is for? Who is it not for, Julio?
So the course is definitely for people who are having trouble with their analytical questions.
Yeah,
they sometimes or often get stuck with those questions. They oftentimes make mistakes that the interviewer will tell them about. They get messed up with the numbers. They often get cases that they know beforehand that they won't be able to solve, that they're gonna get stuck, and then it does happen. They do get stuck.
Yeah,
I guess that's one kind of people the course is for.
Yeah, I think also, like, is the course for people who have trouble with math? Because a lot of these math instructions are for people who are already good with math. And the course is made for people who are having trouble with math. So that's one nice thing to say.
Exactly. I think that our experience comes a lot from teaching people who are not good at math how to pass their math questions in their interviews.
Yeah.
So it's not from, consultants who did a lot of consulting work and are teaching the techniques. There is an element of that, but the main point is solving your problem rather than teaching you how to be a partner at McKinsey.
Yeah, or like ex-physics PhD teaches math. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I already don't understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
So the way the course is structured is you have the raw techniques for structuring, doing mental math, which you can improve in just a day, because we just did like the best techniques for arithmetic, having insights. So these work for everyone. And then you have a module for each of the 5 types of math questions that they give in case interviews. So break-even is one of them. Funnels is another one. There's 3 others. Then we have a special module for charts, where we teach exactly how to map out charts and find the insights and etc. And then for each module you have drills, like 3 or 4 drills, from easy to hard. So the easy ones anyone should be able to solve them, and then you progressively increase difficulty until you're doing drills for that type of question that are much harder than you'll get in your interview, so that you're prepared for anything. And we also have a module for math questions that don't fit any of the 5 archetypes, right?
Yeah. I think that the main thing that people need to know about this course is it was built around the reasons people fail. Yeah. It was built around the problems that students have and the skills that they don't have, they need to have, and focused on teaching those skills, and not only teaching the theory, but giving them practice so that they can take the lessons and apply them and finish the course capable, finish the course able to look at any math problem that's coming up to them and creating the structure, doing the math smoothly, and giving out recommendations.
Yeah, just got this review the other day, which is this guy saying that math was his worst weakness and now it's his best strength.
Yeah.
And now he's worried about the other stuff because, you always want to improve your bottleneck, right?
If you want to bring that up, I want to recap what we just said so that candidates don't...
Now, let me just say who the course is not for.
Okay,
because I don't think it's for everyone. Actually, I don't think it's for most people. So I don't think it's for anyone who hasn't gone through the quantitative analysis and chart interpretation modules of our free course.
Yeah.
Because that's the basis, that's the fundamentals. You will do some drills. You will see where you're strong and where you're not. And you'll see if you like our style of teaching. Yeah. Right? So that's one thing. The other thing, I think if you have a major issue with structuring, you should learn to structure problems first.
Yeah.
So like frameworks, brainstorming questions. We have courses on that. We have modules on the free course on that as well. But regardless of how you do it, you need to do that first, because doesn't matter how good your math is, if you can't structure well, you won't be able to get the offer.
Yeah.
Unless you're really poor at math, then you probably need to work both of those together because you need both, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think the course is for... Okay, that's going to sound like obvious, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's not a magic solution. Like the arithmetic part is kind of a magic solution. Like a lot of people improve in one day.
Yeah.
And stop making mental math mistakes and stuff like that. I won't promise this for everyone, but it's like 3 techniques or 4 techniques that are really helpful. But the rest of the course and the structuring parts of the course, which is what matters, and is the most important part, and doing the drills and everything, it's going to take you 1 or 2 weeks at least of dedicated work.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is a lot of work. So if you're trying for a quick and fast solution, it's probably not the right place.
Yeah, that's right. That's not Netflix. You can't just watch it.
No, you have to do the work. Yeah. So if you're interested in the course, go to our free course, check out the analysis question, the analysis module, the chart interpretation module, and you'll see the Analytics Academy in the same platform there, and you can join. So.
Yeah.